Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Eddie, here with another edition of Eddie's Comic Culture Forum. And today I'm here to talk about the studio responsible for these two movies here, Suicide Squad and BVS Dawn of Justice. Now, if you've been following the studio's news throughout the past week recently, like I have, you'll see that there's been quite a few rumors actually circulating the internet since Monday. Actually, it's been quite a long week regarding that because it's been pretty exhausting. At one point, we started believing it was stated from Deadline and Variety, if I'm not mistaken, and also the Hollywood Reporter. These are supposed to be, these are pretty much well-established publications making the statements, news rounds actually about how Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman film will not be a part of the extended DC universe, and then it followed by the other story, some more stories that were actually published about how Ben Affleck would not be playing Batman in this film. Um, Now, with that being said, it's been it's been quite. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been quite emotionally exhausting following the studio, considering everything that's happened since the release of Dawn of Justice. BVS has been the movie that, honestly, if you're a fan like I'm a fan, you've been waiting for a long, long time, very long time to see these characters on screen together, and for the final product, for it to come out in theaters the way it did, it really was a disjointed film. Not as bad as Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was all over the place. Even though I did enjoy it myself, I have to, facing facts, the movie was literally all over the place. So honestly, it's been, it's been it's been pretty much exercising cautious optimism with the studio, considering everything that's happened, and it's just, finally we catch a big break with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was an excellent film, an excellent feature. You know, it was years in the making, honestly, because it's been about time, a long time coming for that movie to actually happen, and it turned out to be amazing. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. My father enjoyed it. Various members of my family enjoyed it, and it finally seems like it had something right. But between Wonder Woman and Justice League, it's been quite some time for a lot of stuff to circulate. It. First of all, there was been with the Justice League reshoots, Joss Whedon taking over from Zack Snyder due to Snyder's personal tragedy with his family, and then the notion of everyone thinking pretty much that once that this that pretty much Joss Whedon was going to take the movie over from Zack Snyder, and then it was just the argument of whose vision were we going to see in the final product, whether it's going to be Zack Snyder's or Joss Whedon's. How much influence will Whedon's work have over Snyder's? I honestly don't think it's going to be that much, considering the time that was left after post production. How much can they possibly do between the summer and November? I'm assuming a lot, considering what's being done, but. I mean, honestly, who knows? We never really know about these things until the very end, anyway. But with that being said, it kind of gives everyone a sense of I guess you could say they're kind of disheartened and disenchanted with the studio, considering because it just with all these things happening the way that's been happening, it makes you feel. It kind of gives the impression that they don't really know what they're doing. It's just and personally, I don't understand how these articles can get published. I don't know who's in charge at Warner Brothers or if they have any influence over these news excerpts being released to the to the media. Well, especially the circulation with Matt Reeves' Batman project. I'm assuming they may have some input, of course, as to what actual information can be released to the public at the time before, and this is prior to principal photography. I'm not a filmmaker, so I don't know the ins and outs of it all. I do feel that the studio does have an influence over as to what can be released as far as information is concerned towards the public, and it's just been very misleading and confusing. Now, hopefully, as I said before, you know, the cautious optimism pays off, and it turns out to it turns out to be a good product. But it's between Wonder Woman's release and Justice League's release, there's been nothing but months of speculation, and people are there's still some hope, obviously, which is the good thing about it. There's a plus on that. So far from what was shown off of the Comic Con trailer this summer over at San Diego, it seems like it's going good. It looks pretty hopeful for it, and I'm definitely excited for the release of it. Um, I still have to. I'm still just walking into that with a certain trepidation of wondering how the final film is going to turn out, and am I really going to enjoy it the same way as I enjoyed, the Avengers films? Because Whedon has done some excellent work. He's directed both Avengers movies, and I haven't seen nothing of his after since Age of Ultron, at which and even then, even with the supposedly he had some sort of restrictions from Marvel Studios, but I still I enjoyed the final product of it, and it was that's what's most important to me about it, and hopefully that the studio can actually get it together, because I do want to see a lot more of these characters. So far, it's just been abundance of announcements after announcement after announcement after announcement, and that's fine. I understand that. But at the very end, we need to see. I'm more of a the proof is in the pudding kind of guy. You want to tell me that you're gonna have something done, well, fine, that's cool. That's cool. Be that as it may, I can understand that, but let me see the final product first. So far the next thing that's coming up after Justice League is and to be released in theaters is Aquaman. That's another project I'm highly anticipated because you know the cast that are involved, Jason Momoa, they all seem very dedicated, and particularly so the director himself, James Wan, who's done the Conjuring movies, which I still haven't seen. I heard they're very good horror films, and I'm partial to horror myself, so I've been pretty much. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been pretty much slacking in my horror films as of recent with the new releases that's been going on for the last couple of years. But I do intend to check it out, and my intention is to see where is he gonna go with this, because Aquaman has been like one of my favorite characters since I could remember being a child. Apart from Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman, of course, Aquaman to me was always one of those unsung heroes, and he was always treated unfairly, in the public, and he's so much more than those jokes that they made out than the jokes they made him out to be. But I'm highly anticipating for that, and as well as Justice League Dark, which is another feature film, which another live action film that deserves. I mentioned this yesterday in my other film in my other episode, obviously, excuse me, regarding their absence in the DC Rebirth storyline. But to see that in live action would be incredible. Another animated film, but I still have yet to pick up, which I will get to on Amazon. Thank you very much. And hopefully it just turns out to be something great. I just want to hear some casting news already, and then particularly Shazam is supposed to start filming next year as well too, from the same director of Annabelle Creation and Lights Out, two other horror films. As I said before, I've been slacking on my horror movie status for quite some time, so you guys gotta cut me some slack here. But he's done Lights Out and the Annabelle Creation film, and hopefully we get to hear some sort of casting news regarding this project as well. I'm dying to see what's going to happen. He's another unsung hero of mine, and it's crazy because he's been around for such a long time. Also, he's been around since like the 40s, like Superman and like Superman. No, Superman debuted in 1938. Excuse me, but like Wonder Woman as well, and even Captain America. He's definitely a part of that golden age that that still holds well to this day. They've stood the test of time. So to be honest, I just want to know what's happening with Warner Brothers. I mean, like I said, they've always been my preferred studio. I've always wanted to see these characters on screen ever since I was a youngster and watching Christopher Reeve as Superman and Michael Keaton Don the Cowl as Batman. And to me personally, he's the greatest Batman there is. I know there's quite a few people that have that are partial to Bale, but to me, Keaton will always be Batman. Sorry, but that's just how I feel. And mainly, mainly.